PodAskew is a founding member of the Odd Pods Media Network.
It's Fandom Friday.
And we're getting vocal with PodAskew. I am CJ, and with me, as always, Federal left mate Rico. What's up, man?
What's up, motherfuckers?
Well, I got one thing to say, and dude, we don't usually do this on this show, but I'm starting it off like this, and I ain't even joking.
Let the joyous news be spread, the wicked old witch at last is dead.
Yes, that's right. We are free. Free at last. The pineapple pita, the mango Mussolini, orange 45 is gone. Thank fuck is all I have to say. Jesus. Thank God for that.
Free at last, free at last.
Yeah, I wasn't going that far, but god damn.
Free momentarily, free momentarily.
Okay, Steph, why you gotta rain on my parade? Like, for real. What the fuck? I mean, yes, I know we have to wait till January 20th. Yes, technically that's when we're free, but Christ, come on.
Leave the poor man alone, Steph.
Yeah, right? What the fuck? This is supposed to be family here. Why is this not switched over? Here we go. There we go. Sorry about that. Yes, Todd, I know she's not wrong. Okay, get off my dick. Goddamn. Anyway. So before we get into this week and all that stuff, you know, there was a theme to this week's music, which I'm going to try to keep doing each week. Mark did guess privately. Kateri, welcome. I'm glad you finally made it. I posted the list up. I would like, if anyone has any guesses, Mark, I know you guessed with me privately and got it right, but if anyone else has a guess real quick, I would love to see if you have a thought real quick. And then if not, I will tell you. This is not like there's no game. There's no prizes. By the way, while we're waiting for that, Rico, I don't know if you've seen the chat list there. Aaron from Because Fuck You, That's Why is with us. So a little more Odd Pods love in the room today. I'm digging that. Loving that. I'm
always more comfortable when someone's here without their pants on, so I really appreciate it.
Well, according to Sam, he never wears pants to the monthly meeting either. So, I mean, shit. There you go. You know, that's a different debate altogether. Waves his hands because he mostly a thanks, I think, Aaron. Anyway, fight back against the patriarchy. I love our fans. I really fucking do.
I do too.
Kateri, you did. The only thing you missed is us celebrating the loss, or not loss, but the getting rid of the orange one at the White House, and then trying to guess on the opening music. Does anyone have a guess before I announce what it was?
Yes, you hit your keyboard repeatedly with your head, and that's how you got music.
Nope. There was an actual predetermined list of music. But let's see. No one is in suspense. Thanks, Jess, I think. All right. So this week's theme, they all had letters in their names. Thanks, Aaron. I appreciate it. Mark did message me privately and he got it. All the artists you heard tonight were all part of the class of 2020 inducted to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. So they were all inducted. The ceremony was aired last week on HBO, and they couldn't have the ceremony as usual this year because of the unfortunately, because of there's a virus out there. I think I've heard about.
Yeah, but he's going to be out of the White House, in a couple months, so it's okay.
What are you talking about?
Talking about Trump? You said a virus.
Yes, I know. Okay, that I meant the other virus. The one. Yeah.
The beer.
I'm making a joke, Mark. I'm not serious. Anyway, so here we are, and the wind is out of my sail. So fuck, Rico, take over. I'm just gonna sit back.
To combat with the crazy bullshit that is 2020, CJ and I were talking about cartoons and TV shows that we were watching at kids movies. So that's sort of what today's topic is going to be about. I got a whole fucking, it's awful handwriting, but I got a whole plethora of shit. So,
and some people were putting it was so weird, dude. I posted about tonight's episode, come hang out with us. And people started giving us their answers on Twitter. I'm like, fuck, come join us. I'm not mad at nobody, but shit, come hang out.
Yeah, it's we want to know, but we want to know at between, this time and this time. So
yeah, come to get Vokl and tell us. But anyway, so some great choices. I don't have them up in front of me because I'm hoping these people will show up. But it is what, I know, Steph, I saw you too. And I was like, what the fuck? I love you, but what the fuck? In any event, so listen, it's funny because, some of the people were putting this stuff up like Xena and teenage type show. And then someone said Buffy and things like that. And those aren't all bad picks, but I was thinking we were going to be talking kids, you know what I mean? Cause Rico, you came in at the tail end of what was a ritual every Saturday for years for me. And that was Saturday morning cartoons. You would get up early on Saturday, even though it was your day off from school, and you would go downstairs and you would put on fucking either ABC, CBS, or NBC, because they were the only channels you fucking had back in the day. And you would watch cartoons. You would watch cartoons from 6 to noon. And it would just be half-hour cartoons. And they had a ton of them.
Yeah, I had channels 53, 54, and 55. That was Nickelodeon, Cartoon Network, and Disney Channel. And they were on all day.
Yeah, and those channels, while they're great, don't get me wrong, but it took away that. There was something special about Saturday morning cartoons. And then the whole thing of the summer would come and they wouldn't do new ones. So when the fall came and you saw what the new fall cartoons were, you were like, yes, you know what I mean? You'd get super excited. I mean, that's where the real Ghostbusters comes from, until the government required education. Yeah. But then there was that. And then there was, isn't that where Schoolhouse Rock was birthed out of, Mark? I think from that mandate, or maybe
after birthed out. Yeah, I was going to say Schoolhouse was pretty early.
It was, but I don't remember which mandate that he was referring to, because I think it was a couple different mandates about it. Yeah, I'm with you, Todd. I thought it was late 70s, early 80s. I agree with you. But yeah, man, Saturday morning cartoons were the shit. And you got up and you watched. But see, some of the ones are now, and I love this about Disney Plus, is some of them are now available for me to rewatch. When Disney Plus first came out, I started cycling through looking for what shows that I used to watch. And one of the shows, and I haven't gone back and watched it yet, but I think I might do it tomorrow since it's a Saturday. Fucking Gummy Bears. I loved Gummy Bears. It was one of my favorite Disney cartoons when I was a kid, man.
I mean,
yes, Mark's got it. They had the theme song was the shit. Oh my God, he's got the word. Go, Mark. Sing, brother.
Holy fuck! I didn't know he could type that fast. Holy shit!
Fast. But yeah, dude, you had shit like Gummy Bears and Chippendales. I think started on weekdays and then shifted over to Saturdays. But there were a lot of and like I said, the real Ghostbusters, the one that was based off the movie, came there. DuckTales was great, Jay.
Woo!
Yep. and then they had the movie, which was okay, but it introduced Gizmo Duck, which was one of my favorite characters. I think it introduced Gizmo Duck.
I don't remember Gizmo Duck.
Gizmo Duck was like this dude. He was Scrooge's accountant, and
I don't remember that guy. It's been a while since I've seen the movie, but I remember the movie being the shit when I was a kid.
Blabber and Blatherskite. Yes, sir, Mark. That's it. So maybe it
Bless
wasn't.
you,
movie,
Mark.
but
Would you like a hanky? Because that was clearly a sneeze. Holy shit!
No,
Blatherskite!
There was a. So do you remember DuckTales? That he had that friend who was the inventor. The character's name escapes me right now.
Vaguely, yeah.
So yeah, that's how he transformed. He invented this suit, right? Fenton, yes, thank you. He invented this suit, and then he came up with the most weird word he could come up with to activate it, and it was Blatherskite or Psych, or I might have it wrong, but it's Skite. Yeah, there we go. And it turns out by coincidence that Scrooge's accountant, his favorite phrase when he fucked stuff up was blathering Blatherskite. So he said it, and the suit like turned him into the superhero. It was a robotic, like it was Cyborg for Disney before Disney owned everything, basically.
Disney doesn't own Cyborg, although the way Ray Fisher's going, it might happen.
Right. But yeah, man, all those cartoons. There was. Yeah. Anyway, what about you, Rico? Talk about some of yours. So,
hold on, Steph. Nothing's wrong with the coffee. It's just hot. That's all.
It's hot.
You see my face. I could just walk over to you. You want to see my face? I mean, like, yeah, I did get that kind of tail end. Like, I got sort of the beginning of when Nickelodeon really started vamping. But I mean, I was a big fan of Tom and Jerry. That was always a good staple.
There you go.
Me.
Yep. Grew up with Tom and Jerry too, man.
Looney Tunes was always good, but like there were very specific Looney Tunes that I was like more into. Like I was into Tasmanian Devil, but I was not into Foghorn Leghorn. I always thought Foghorn Leghorn was just fucking annoying and obnoxious as shit.
I felt that way about Pepe Le Pew.
Same. I'm with you on Pepe. Fucking hello. No, it's like you watch it now, you're just a fucking rapist. Leave that cat alone, dude.
In a Me Too world, Pepe Le Pew doesn't live low.
Yeah,
no. You talk about Nickelodeon, though, Rico. I don't mean to jump back on you, but you know what? That reminds me of a show that I used to watch, and I think it was off the air before you were born. I'm not even joking, like for real. But it was called "You Can't Do That on Television," and it was basically a sketch show that Nickelodeon used to run. And what it was, and that's where Alanis Morissette got her start. I'm not even joking. She was a cast member on that show before she was the pop star.
So this was a precursor to like all that, because that was the sketch show for Nickelodeon. Like in the heyday was that.
Yeah, it was, and then they would have this thing where sometimes the cast would just be sitting around in this room and they'd be talking. And if you said, I don't know, like if you said that phrase, you got slime. That's where the slime for Nickelodeon comes from. It started.
I remember the fucking slime, dude. There was another early, God, this is all coming back to me.
Oh, that's right. If you said water, they would dump a bucket of water on you too. I forgot about that, Todd. Thanks.
There was a weird fucking show called The Adventures of Pete and Pete.
Yeah, that was way later. Yeah.
Well, it was way later for you. It was early as fuck for me.
Yeah.
I still have that name, Danny Tamborelli. That's his fucking name. Stuck in my fucking head. Like, it was such a weird, there was all these weird, like, mini commercials that were done exclusively for Nickelodeon. Because I also like was in the range of Nick Jr. in the mid 90s. Sure. There was that motherfucker Face. Do you fuckers remember Face? And like Face, fucking Face like inspired me to try a peanut butter and banana sandwich because he was like eating. He's like, my favorite sandwich, peanut butter and banana, and I'm like, I'm gonna try that shit, and it hasn't changed since.
And then you had Double Dare. Double Dare was my shit. The game show. Did you ever see that with Mark Summers?
Oh yeah.
Double Dare was I wanted to go on Double Dare so bad. I knew I would eat shit on any of the physical challenges because of my condition, but still.
Well, all right, I got one for you. This was the off Goosebumps, right?
Okay.
Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Yes.
Did you ever watch that?
Watched it, but I'm familiar with it. Yeah.
Holy shit, dude.
Mark, you're not wrong about Hey Dude. It was Hey Dude. Honestly, it was Hey Dude back to back with Salute Your Shorts, the camp show, right back and forth. It was there you go, buddy. Salute Your Shorts. Yep. It was right back to back. It was fantastic. I love.
See, that's the thing that I noticed is that Nickelodeon did a lot of live action shit, and then they started doing animation shit. Like Rocko's Modern Life was my fucking go-to, dude. Like Rocko's was like that show where my mom tried to censor a lot of shit. She was like, she did not like me watching Cartoon Network because she thought Cartoon Network was too offensive and too negative.
Probably was.
It was. I mean, but with the exception was I could watch Dexter's Lab and Powerpuff Girls on Cartoon Network.
Okay.
But somehow Rocko's Modern Life managed to be okay. But Rocko's Modern Life, you watch that as an adult now, you're like, this is a dirty ass show. Like, do you remember what the restaurant, like the fast food restaurant that he worked at?
I never really watched it, honestly. I'm familiar with it exists, but I never really watched it.
Dude, at one point, the restaurant's called Choky Chicken.
Okay.
And at one point, they don't explicitly say it, but Rocco gets a job. He's a sex, phone worker. Like, he's supposed to read a screen. He's like, oh, baby, yes. Oh, you like that, huh? Like, it's really like, as a kid, you don't fucking get it, and then you watch it years later, like, holy shit.
The only of Ren and Stimpy, yep.
Ren and Stimpy,
that was there too. The other one that I used of that Nick level that you're talking about that I used to watch as a kid, that I caught maybe the tail end, it caught the tail end of me, I should say. Like, it went on long after I stopped watching, but Bobby's World.
Oh, with fucking Howie Mandel?
Yeah, man. With Howie is
yeah.
So I used to watch that a little bit too. You talked about something offensive, Rico. There's one that I have to bring up, and you're going to be probably too young to remember it, but there's other people in the room that are going to remember it. And I used to look back on it with such fondness, but now when I tell you what it is, I can't, and it sucks because of life. But it was called Bill Cosby's picture pages, and he had this marker, and he would
dude, he made another show. I was gonna bring this up. He made a little show called Little Bill.
Oh, and it was Fat Albert too. You're right, Mark. I forgot about
Fat Albert. Was early, but later it was.
Yep.
We all see. That's the thing is Bill Cosby was multi-generational for a number of reasons.
I have to ask Mark a question, and if nobody wants to see his Little Bill, I agree. Mark, last week when we were talking about Connery, and when Connery said the things that he said that no one here agrees with about hitting women, but you did say it was okay to separate the man from his art. Can we do the same with Bill? Is that possible?
No,
I can't either, but I'm asking. So
I don't think so. I think because here's the difference. We know Bill Cosby raped a ton of women. We know Sean Connery said some controversial shit. We don't know if he did it.
Right. Okay. And
that's
and
a huge difference.
And I agree. And listen, I'm not saying that Mark says you can, but I don't. And I'm with you. I'm kind of with you, Mark. I agree with you. Like, I don't either. But I was just curious, because of what you said last week. And that's not putting you on the spot of saying, like, you said it's okay. I'm saying, but you did mention that about Connery. And I was wondering if the same thought process applied.
Dude,
so
I can't look at Jello the same fucking way.
Okay, Mark says he'll elaborate when we open up the window, so let's leave that alone and let him do that then. And again, I'm not pointing at Mark. He was just the one that brought up the point of separating Connery, so I thought I'd ask.
He was the loudest person.
Yeah. Anyway, moving on. But yeah, I mean, some of these cartoons, and then we were talking about DuckTales and that Disney afternoon block. You had DuckTales, you had Darkwing Duck, you had Chippendale's Rescue Rangers, Tailspin. Fuck, I'm blanking. There was a Mighty Ducks cartoon briefly. It was on Saturday mornings.
Yeah, I remember that.
Goof Troop. There you go. Forgot about
Gargoyles. Oh shit, Gargoyles.
Shit. And I'll tell you,
That's
I already had when I heard that Marina Sirtis, she was the main female gargoyle. She's also Counselor Deanna Troi on Star Trek. That's where I know her from. So like I was like, that's Troy. And I knew Star Trek before I knew gargoyles. So it was like when I finally saw it, I was like, that's fucking Deanna Troi. That's fucking her. Was Frank Zan? I did not know this. Okay, good call, Todd. Thank you. I was gonna go somewhere else and I just lost my point. Fuck, I hate that.
All right,
anyway.
Jumping off of Gargoyles, how about Batman, the animated series?
That's where I was going. Actually, yeah, because it used to lead in. It was Gargoyles and then Batman. Usually, I think it was that order. At least here it was.
I mean, look, all the movies like the Tim Burton shit and the Bruckheimer Schumacher shit and the fucking Ben Affleck are all different iterations. You can have your favorites, the Christian Bale, Ben Affleck. I think it's pretty unanimous that like Batman the Animated Series is easily probably one of the best interpretations. If you don't even have to be Batman, you just sit down and watch it like this is a fucking great goddamn show.
Yeah, without question. And I mean, and look, and I think because a lot of the same people are involved, not everybody, but a lot of the same people are involved, Batman Beyond equally, while futuristic. No, I'm not saying it's as good, but it was as impressive at least. You know what I mean? Like it was done well. It was, it maybe wasn't as popular, but it was done as well. Is what
I would say it was popular, but I didn't like it when I was a kid. I got to appreciate Beyond as an adult. Whereas I was like straightforward Batman animated series as a kid and as an adult. Yeah, Beyond, I appreciate Beyond now.
Yeah, Kateri, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying as good, maybe not, definitely not better, but as good, and has had things that were, I don't want to say better, but better in just a different context. Like I liked seeing the futuristic Batman. I like seeing Batman of the future, and yet you still had Bruce Wayne involved. You know what I mean? Like I liked seeing
Kevin Conroy.
And Kevin Conroy. And I liked seeing those twists, but as an overall, I'll agree with you, Kateri. It's not as good by a long shot. But yeah.
I'll tell you what it is. Like, because different styles are fine. And Terry McGinnis was actually like, he was great. You're right, Kateri. He was a solid protagonist. But it's the Rogues Gallery. The Rogues Gallery in Batman Beyond is weak in comparison to the animated series.
Which is why that movie is so good.
That movie is legit. Batman Return of the Joker.
So good. So good.
I mean, even if they I'm about to be controversial. Even if it wasn't Mark Hamill as the Joker, it's still a decent story and the animation is solid. Like if they got John DiMaggio or Troy Baker or someone to do a different spin on the Joker, it's still a creepy fucking good movie. But the fact that it is Mark Hamill, I look at The Killing Joke and I look at like Return of the Joker. I'm like, Return of the Joker is better, honestly.
The one vocal representation of the Joker that I just don't like, flat out, is Michael Emerson. No, Michael Emerson in The Dark Knight Returns. Part 1, and part 2 primarily because I think he says one thing at the very end of part 1. But like
Batman, darling, yeah, he does.
Right. I mean, that's what I meant by one thing. Like it's like a line, it's like 2 words. It's nothing. Yeah, but like it's. And like, I like Michael Emerson as an actor. I've seen him in other stuff that I very much enjoy him in. I think he's a great actor. I didn't like his Batman.
It's his Joker, you mean?
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Thank you.
It's very. I mean, I've said this a couple times before. It is an impression of Paul Lynde.
Mm.
It's basically what's that fucker's name? Roger from American Dad. That's basically the same voice.
The
It's
alien?
Templeton. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Templeton from Charlotte's Web from the 70s. Oh, Charlotte. Oh, Batman. It's the same fucking guy that they're basically
Right.
on. And I will say this: the voice is fine. I really enjoy the interpretation that Emerson went through. He's like, well, who would be the Joker that's not Cesar Romero in the 70s? Well, fuck. Paul Lynde was pretty goddamn campy, and he was always.
That's true. I mean, yeah, like I said,
I appreciate his method for getting there.
Yeah, sure. I mean, look, like I said, I like Michael Emerson as an actor. Like I like his talent. You know, like I think he's fine. I don't think he was a good choice, and I don't think that's his fault. To be fair, you know what I mean.
To be fair, casting RoboCop as Batman was a weird choice.
It was. They should have gone with. They could have done Conroy, and it would have worked just fine. Personally,
they could have gone Conroy, and I mean, look, Hamill's always said if you go Conroy, Hamill will show up.
Yeah. Agreed.
I don't know why Kevin Conroy didn't do it, because that's what we all kind of wanted was
Dark Knight with Conroy. Yeah,
dude.
That would have been. You know what that would have been. And I want to kind of get back to some of these other these kid shows before we open the windows up. But like, it would have been a nice bridge, I think, from animated series to Batman Beyond, even though it comes out long after, of course. But I mean, from a timeline perspective, that would have been a great bridge between the two worlds. Having, you know what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
They would have had to change the death of the Joker then.
Well, yes, but I'm saying no. But I'm just saying,
maybe that's why he didn't come back, because it's not continuity. It's sort of a what if.
Yeah, so. No, it's like an Elseworlds or whatever. Yeah. I agree. But let's get back to some of these other cartoons. Did you watch some of these other ones I've seen coming through the room, like Goof Troop and the ones I mentioned, like Tailspin and stuff?
Tailspin, sort of, not as much. Like, I was into all the other shows that I listed that I have. I mean, I was definitely aware of them, but it was just. I would much rather watch a Disney movie as opposed to the Disney shows, more or less. Does that make sense? Like, instead of watching the show DuckTales, I would watch the movie.
Fair enough.
Like, repeatedly on VHS. And
also, sorry, did you have another point? Because I wanted, before we open this up.
No.
You mentioned Batman, and while it's not DC, I have to come around and talk about there was a Spider-Man show on.
That's on my list.
And then you also had X-Men, and that X-Men, the animated series. Look, I I'm a big fan of the younger X-Men movies with who's the guys playing Picard? Why am I blanking on this? Or not Picard, playing Professor X. Fuck it, were you out of laughing at my ass? You fuck.
Patrick Stewart.
No, McAvoy.
Oh. Okay, the younger ones, McAvoy.
Younger one, yeah. I like the younger X-Men movies a little more than the original ones.
You just don't like Matty Granger, is that what you're saying?
That's it. I don't. Yeah. But I yes, the guy from Wanted. That's one of the movies on our list for that thing that we're doing, Rico. By the way, Wanted would qualify. Anyway. But yeah, I like those better. But honestly, in my eyes, X-Men, the animated series, is still the best interpretation of the X-Men outside of the books that I've seen.
Let me ask you this. Because I saw it because it's on Disney Plus. Did you start watching a little bit?
What?
X-Men.
Oh, I watched it when it aired. I was watching
I'm talking about now.
I've gone back. It was the first thing I watched when I turned on Disney Plus. It was the first thing I watched.
Does it hold up?
For me, it does. Yeah.
Okay. I felt like it held up a little bit, but I felt like, how do I say this? The theme is better than the show as an adult, because the theme is like what we were all like into, because you knew you were going to get some good shit. That fucking electric guitar.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the other thing is like, and that's the thing with like, especially, and maybe it's a bad, a bad thing to hold it up to, but like for me, they've never gotten the Sentinels right live action, never. Because until they get the Sentinels to look like they look like in that show, fuck it, they're not right. You know,
I don't remember what the Sentinels look like.
I mean, they were giant purple and red robots, but they
did they not have that in Days of Future Past?
But they weren't right. I don't know how to describe it. Mark, somebody help me here, or when we open it up, jump in and let me know. But like I don't think they have to look like that, but I get what you. Yeah, I mean, see, Mark, that it just didn't have the right feel. They did get them purple. At least they got them purple in Days of Future Past. I'll give them that. But
listen, motherfucker, Wolverine's supposed to be 5'3", and we let that slide. So,
well, this is me. I'm not talking about the world. The world seemed fine with it. I had a problem with it. So.
All right. What else? Let's see. Let me just cross off.
Yeah, before we're about a half hour, Rico. What do you want to open this up? If you got something on, bring them in. But I noticed, listen, when we do open the windows up, I know there's a lot of people that have been telling me privately and publicly they want to jump in and give us their voices. So we're going to try to keep the windows moving tonight if we can, like rotating through. So,
okay, here's one. Rugrats.
See that I think I was too old by the time Rugrats. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I was the perfect age because I was barely a fucking baby at that point. Like, Rugrats was fine. The movie was pretty fucking legit when you're like 6 years old. And then Rugrats fucking Go to Paris, fucking caught down with their France down. I mean, that was legit. And then they made a third one. It was like Rugrats Go Wild. And I saw that in theaters and I was a kid. And I was like, this kind of sucks. That was the other one.
Came out when Rico was born, literally. I think that's awesome.
What, 91?
I guess. I don't know what year it started, so yeah.
I mean, Terry said, yeah, I was born in 91, so
yeah,
I was the right age with Tommy Pickles, man. Tommy Pickles and I were the same fucking age.
I was 11, so that would have been like 5th grade, maybe?
6th, depending on...
6th grade, something like that. Yeah, I think it was 6, because that's when I was getting into stuff like Ren and Stimpy and Beavis and Butthead. Man.
Beavis and Butthead and Simpsons.
I was like, to watch The Simpsons, but I was allowed to watch Beavis and Butthead. Go figure that.
That's so weird. Like, yeah, I was similar. Like, I could not watch that shit. Like, The Simpsons was kind of pass and go. Like, Mom, you could tell when Mom had a rough day at work if I could watch The Simpsons. You know, like, Mom, can I watch The Simpsons? Yeah, fuck it. I don't give a shit. Go ahead. But the few times like my dad had cable because it was very sporadic, I could watch The Simpsons and Beavis and Butthead with my brothers. That was like brother time for me.
The interesting thing with Beavis and Butthead, getting back to that real quick for me, was they rebooted Beavis and Butthead about 5 years ago, I want to say.
Sounds about
Are they
right,
coming back again, Todd? See, here's a problem, and I don't know what they're going to do on Comedy Central, but on MTV, what they did is, because they weren't showing videos on MTV anymore. Like the concept of Beavis and Butthead, for those of you not familiar, was there was two kids sitting around watching MTV all day and making fun of the videos that were on MTV, and sometimes liking them, because if they would throw on like a Pantera or Megadeth or something, they'd be like, yeah, you know. But otherwise, it was like, look at these dorks and these idiots, and you know, that kind of shit. And then,
look at this stupid person.
he sucks. But then when they rebooted it, because MTV wasn't showing music videos anymore, they were watching things like 16 and Pregnant and all the reality shows that MTV was running. They were watching that. And
yeah, they were making fun of Twilight.
Beavis and Butthead inspired podcasting. Mark, I don't know that I can change your mind, because I think I need to hear more of your argument. I'm not saying you're wrong, but I need to hear more of your argument. So when you jump in, you'll have to let us know.
I think we save that for an episode, because that's a really good question.
Well, at least let him bring his point.
Oh, no. I see what he's saying. He's saying, look at these two, like they're stereotypical podcaster lookalikes. Like they're just young and stupid and saying stupid shit. I get what he's going for.
Yeah.
I
I
get
really
it.
have-
So you're saying a lot about us, aren't you, Mark?
Well, you know.
Bunghole.
Are you threatening me? So
Hey,
shut up, Beavis. What do you got over there before we open these windows up?
well, sort of in the middle of like kid and then like Beavis and Butthead level, Cow and Chicken. Do you remember? Did you ever watch that?
I've heard of it, but I
Oh,
didn't.
the artwork was so very similar to like Ren and Stimpy, but not exact. But like
Okay.
everyone had like a butt. Like everyone had like a butt with big cheeks, and it always kind of threw me the fuck off. There's a character who's the devil, and he's like red, and he just like has this kind of like hello kind of weird fucked up like yeah, it was just called Red Guy, but like he just had ass for days, and it would just threw me the fuck off.
Dude, how did we forget this one? How did the fuck did we forget the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
We didn't
The
get there
original
yet.
OG TMNT.
Dude, I got a whole fucking list. We didn't get there yet because you fucking freaked out. Calm down.
All right.
Who is your favorite turtle?
Mine?
Yeah.
Michael.
fucking.
Back then, well, I didn't know if you were talking to the. Yeah, it's got to be Michelangelo. It's got to be Michelangelo back in the day.
I moved like throughout all of them. Like I was really into Leonardo because I loved his sword.
Sure.
Hello. And he was like the leader. So like I was like, yeah, dude, leader. And then Donatello because he was kind of like nerdy and shit. And then it was Michelangelo because I got fucking lazy and became a slacker. And then I got really fucking angry, so it went to Raphael.
Yeah, I'm sorry, buddy. You're lagging a little bit for some reason. But as I got older, for me, I started with Michelangelo for sure. But as I got older, I kind of moved over to Raphael and hung out there. Like Raphael's, yeah. It's you know what I think switched me to Raphael because the show was still going on when the movie aired.
Mm.
You know, and Raphael was such a badass in that film. The first Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Raphael was the badass of the bunch, and never really kind of lost it. Dude, you're getting all kinds of pixelated. Dude, I don't know what's going on there. Yeah.
Shiza.
You can hear you good enough. We just don't have to look at your ugly mug. So, all right. What do you say? We open this up a little bit, let people come in and join us. All right.
I'm with you, Terry. That was a great opening where he like loses his sigh and he goes, "Damn!" Like,
yeah, yep. All right, y'all. Someone who wants to join us. Maybe someone you know we haven't had on in a while. Like I don't know. I'm looking to the room. Like Jess hasn't been here in a minute. Aaron, if you've got a camera and you want to jump in, by all means, you do need camera. But
who's Trey? Hi, Trey.
Yeah, Trey. Welcome. I'm not familiar with you, but please hang out. Thanks for coming on. So yeah, well, I guess we go. What's next on your list while we're waiting here?
Okay, so this was like it was a show on Cartoon Network that comprised of a bunch of little shorts, and each time was like, you know, they had reruns, but a lot of animators started out on this shit. It was called What a Cartoon. And
never heard of it.
Dude, McFarlane got his start on What a Cartoon. And like it was I can't remember what it was called, but it was literally about an old dude with his dog. The dog sounds like Brian. The old dude looks nothing like Peter, but sounds just like Peter. And you watch, you're like, this is just Family Guy, like in the OG level.
Okay. What's it called again?
What a Cartoon.
I'm gonna have to look that up.
And that's how they would do it. The intro looked like a blender of colors, and like it would splatter on the screens and go, "What? Cartoon." It had this fucking like great electric guitar going along with it, and there was a great little episode, and these are all like short. So each one is different creators doing different shit.
This is well beyond me because it was 95 to 97. So I would have been.
This was like a brief window, and it didn't like I said, it didn't last that long. But there was one episode where Dracula is called like the Count and Lizzie or something, or Lizzie and the Count or something like that. And it was about this Dracula looking fuck like trying to bite this girl. And years later, because I was obsessed with it, I found out it was voiced by Mark Hamill. And I fucking was like, holy shit, I was into Mark Hamill before I even knew it was Mark Hamill. Holy fuck.
Aaron, you don't have to know what Rico's talking about to join us. By all means, people jump in all the time and bring their own shit. So don't worry about that.
CJ doesn't know what the fuck I'm talking about half the time. We still have to do this every week.
Exactly. Hell, you don't. Your co-hosts don't know what the fuck you're talking about half the time, and your show still goes on. So I mean, anyway. Rico, look, according to these guys here in the room, Trey started a bit. Powerpuff Girls, Dexter, and Johnny Bravo all started there, apparently.
That's what I'm saying. A lot of those shows, like Jendy Tartovsky, who did like Samurai Jack and shit, like he got his start on that shit. And,
nice. Okay.
Yeah. He created Dexter's Lab, so that's where I'm telling you, man. It's some fucking... There was one fucked up segment where like a dude had to like cook dinner for a date coming over.
Yeah.
And he accidentally chops off his finger. And he's rushed. He's trying to cook. So he just throws the finger in and like just starts throwing all sorts of shit in this nasty ass fucking, hey, what's up, Aaron? Nasty ass pot and everything. And he's really worried that like she's not going to like the food. And then she takes a bite because he's crying and he's embarrassed and the food is all fucked up. And she's really into it. So they just like start gorging on this nasty ass food and fall in love. And I was like, this is so fucked up. I love it.
Hey, real quick, Rico, before we start talking to Aaron, Mark Hamill and Ryan Stiles were on this show on a regular basis, according to this.
To what, a cartoon?
Yeah.
All right.
Hamill played King Raymond. I don't know who that is, but I mean.
Oh, shit.
I mean, I was already fully erect. You're just making it worse.
Welcome, Aaron. Thank you, man.
Is that why you're pantsless? It's just easier.
Of course.
It's way easier. It hurts a lot less. It's so many reasons. It's just the superior lifestyle choice is what it is.
You need looser pants, man. If it's hurting when you get erect, I'm just saying. When you do wear them, you need looser pants.
Listen, all right. Sweatpants are named appropriately. They make me sweat. I don't like them. So aside from that, like
they make pants that are looser that are not.
I can just get like a burlap sack, and then at that point, like, why even bother? So I just awesome. Just no pants at all. It's just way better.
That's awesome. Welcome, man. How's you doing?
How goes it? How are the things?
Good, man. I'm loving. We've gotten a lot of Odd Pods love over the last couple of weeks. We have you tonight. We had. Last week we had Russ from Infectious Groove and Sam from the 500 section. So like we're really getting a lot of Odd Pods love here. And I don't know if
Pods rocking and rolling.
Yeah, we're having our first company holiday party too. I don't know if you saw that in the Discord, but if not, you need to go check that out. So.
I will. I work Discord like my grandfather works his cell phone. Like it just like everything complicated. Everything just confuses me and I get lost. And
I feel the same way about Discord. This is how my dad fucking up.
And usually wind up shitting in the couch, but that has nothing to do with Discord. No. So I will check it out if I can find it.
Yeah, no worries. It's in the general room for the network, so you should see it.
I dated a girl who legit shit in the couch once.
Like, see, I'm not alone. I'm not alone. The thing that happens.
I'm not naming any names, but this is a true story. She had to go. She was walking home from school, and she really had to shit. And there was a fucking homeless person's couch just off the road, and she just lifted up her shirt and fucking shat between the cushions, and then just kept walking. And I was like, "You ruined a homeless guy's bed, you evil bitch.
Terrible. I don't know how you
Can I tell a slightly related story that is just going to take this further off the rails?
Are you dating my ex? Is that how this is related?
I don't know. Maybe when I was in college, I went to Canada because I went to a university that was real close to the border, so it was popular to go to Canada and go drinking. I was out with some friends and this one lady friends of ours. It was like 3 dudes and a girl. The lady was like, "Hey, man, I really need to pee. I really need to pee." We're walking along a street in Canada. We have no idea where the hell we are, where the hell anything is. Everything around is closed. So, you know, we pass by a bar. We're like, just run in there. And she's like, no, I can't wait. I can't wait. There's a line. I can't wait. So she runs to the alley and she's like, guys, come on. And I'm like, what? We're going to pee with you? And she's like, no, just form a line. Okay. And we're like, you're seriously going to pee in this alley and we're just going to turn our backs to you. And okay. So that's what we did. That's what we did. Like gentlemen, we turned our backs and we just sat there. Unfortunately, the alley was on kind of an incline. So the pee ran down literally between my legs. Like I noticed at the last second, not fast enough to avoid getting any of it on my shoes, but this stream just runs down and keeps going out onto the sidewalk and eventually into the street. Just as, and I shit you not, and an Asian couple is walking by. They appear to be tourists. I wasn't sure, but they accidentally stumble into the pee, and they turn and they look at us and start pointing fingers, and we all just kind of went,
Throw under the bus.
Oh my god, it was unreal. It was the most. Funny. It was the most just ridiculous set of circumstances, but man, I love telling that story because it was just
that's a good story.
Just a comedy of errors.
Aaron, because I will not do it any kind of justice, and there are some people here that may not be familiar with it. Tell everybody a little bit about what Because Fuck You, That's Why is.
Okay, Because Fuck You, That's Why it was it's our invention. Stevie was great into podcasting. But he didn't have a podcast anymore. I had a friend who was, you know, I don't know how to describe it, but he's recently disabled and living on his own, but he doesn't have a job, so he doesn't really have anything to do. And these 2 guys were hilarious together. And I'm like, you guys, you have to do a podcast together. I begged them like constantly forever. And I finally realized they weren't going to do it unless I did it for them. So I constructed this idea. I'm like, what do we all like? Like, what can we, and we eventually agreed we all enjoy like British television shows. And I have a particular bent towards panel shows and game shows. And I was like, let's sort of make something out of this. Let's make like an American version of a panel show. So we started putting some ideas together, and we invented something. Hello, and we decided to make an actual panel show podcast, and it's been absolutely ridiculous ever since. We just play silly games, and most of the time it's based on comparing pop culture things to other things in bizarre ways. But it is always a good time, and I thoroughly enjoy every single episode. It's come more and more off the rails as the episodes have progressed.
No.
Yeah, we eventually got so lazy that we just started doing shows completely off the cuff. We're just gonna make this shit up as we go. We started doing just entire shows based on a single game sometimes, just because, you know, we found a game that we can do with zero prep. So even if we got nothing planned, we can just throw a show together at the last minute. And
I'll tell you right now, Aaron, especially after there was a bit of an interaction on Twitter, and I won't get into the details because it's not worth it. but there was we need to do PodAskew versus Jorge and Stevie. Like we need.
I have thought there should have been a crossover a long time before now, and I'm surprised it hasn't happened, to be honest.
Well, there was a little bit of bad blood that I think is now under the bridge, if you will. But it was there.
I didn't have any bad blood.
No, not you.
Not even a little bit.
Not you.
No.
You and Smokey were good. Anyway. That's beside the point.
He does play hard. He does play hard. He doesn't mean to. He doesn't mean it. It's
We're all
just
good.
how he is, you know.
I was of the opinion, I'm like, I know he's not trying to fuck with me, but we're not friends. He's acting like we're friends. And I even said, like, I wrote to him privately, I'm like, stop, not today. And he kept doing it. I'm like, all right, I tried, motherfucker. Like, but look, that was way back ago. I was more of a bitch. Now I'm just a slightly
Bigger
less bitch. No, a slightly less bitchy bitch.
The problem is you can't show weakness in front of him. You just can't. It's like blood in front of a piranha. If you say please stop, he's just gonna pounce harder. Like that's just the kind of asshole he is, and that's why he's one of my best friends.
He's got whore in his name, so I'm okay with it.
I want to move on, but yeah, we'll have to make that work, Aaron, for sure. So we'll connect. We'll connect off air.
We're on board. It's gonna happen.
Our wonderful friend Jess has joined us. How are you, dear?
I am fantastic. I'm sober, as per agreement for all of y'all's podcasts.
No.
And you have a smile on your face? Holy shit.
Yeah.
A smile on my face, spring in my step, sobriety is in the air.
I love it.
It's magic here.
I love how as you said that, people fucking laughed.
Did they laugh at the fact that I'm sober? They did. Of course they did.
Oh, fuck, he's not drunk. Fuck that bitch.
Fuck that bitch. We're here for her drunkenness.
There you go. No.
Pantsless Aaron.
Yes.
I have a question for you. Do you fancy yourself the Jimmy Carr of this British quiz show situation?
Okay.
Because before this, I was watching Big Fat Quiz of the Year reruns. So I very much laughed at that reference, sir. Are you Jimmy Carr? Do you also dodge your tax? I have so many questions.
I mean, the tax thing, let's shelve that for another day. But the Jimmy Carr thing,
Mm-hmm.
I'll be honest.
We're recording.
When we put the show together, when we put the show together, I had I kind of tried to model my hosting style after him. Like I deliberately went for the same kind of like cutting jokes about all the news stories that we were covering, and I still do try to include a joke, but I'm much more relaxed about it now, and I'm just kind of getting into my own thing. But it's funny that you say that, because I quite literally based my hosting style, at least in the first couple of episodes, on Jimmy Carr. So I well spotted.
Can you do the Jimmy Carr laugh?
So
Not even inhale. No. That's Eddie Murphy, motherfucker.
Pretty good.
oh man,
I haven't heard it in a while. I haven't watched Big Fat Quiz in a while. Excuse me.
We're getting.
He always ends on the ha ha.
Yeah.
We're getting way off here, but I do want to announce, since we have her on the screen here, we are this weekend recording an episode with the lovely Jessica, who has not actually ever been on a proper PodAskew episode. So we're very excited for this.
Certainly not one I remember.
Yeah, well,
we've had like 3 episodes that turned into interventions with Jess, but and the fact it was 3 interventions says a lot. It's just like it ain't working, baby.
It doesn't stick. I don't listen to your hate speech.
What hate speech? Hey, stop yelling when you're drunk. Fuck you! You lost. Stop.
Oh, I love this. I'm loving
Mark
everything.
says she's not a quitter. That's good.
Yeah.
That's exactly right,
Very
Mark.
true.
You understand me.
Hey, is for quitters.
Just give us a show. Tell us, getting back on topic a little bit here. Give us a show from your younger years that you grew up on that you loved watching. Yeah.
Or when you
my younger years. Here's the
or
bad.
what you currently watch when you smoke the marijuana.
Oh,
when I smoke the marijuana, I instantly go Rick and Morty. But I know that's maybe not something you guys love. I also, we were talking about Paul Lynde earlier. I enjoy American Dad for the base that Roger is very much Paul Lynde. So I really enjoy that. Tacky. You can hear it very much. Yes. Like you're bringing that Uncle Arthur energy to an animated character, which I'm all about.
The center square, right?
Yes.
But no,
He's the center square.
He's the center
center
square.
square to top left square. I'm thinking of somebody else. Never mind. Go ahead. Yeah.
But I'm so excited, Rico, that you mentioned What a Cartoon, because I got secretly so excited because I hadn't thought of that in years, but I loved it. I never missed an episode. I thought it was fantastic.
It was dark too. It was also kind of gross. It was like for the kids that are like, you're supposed to be in bed. Like it was like you're not at that Ren and Stimpy level, but you're not Rugrats either.
But you also have terrible parents. That was like the risk. That's what I felt about it.
That said a lot.
Well, I mean, yeah.
Well, I was raised by The Simpsons, so.
And Kevin.
The Simpsons is pretty normal now, though.
True.
Now. Yeah. Not everybody wanted somebody like an alcoholic Homer raising their kid, but here we are.
That might explain a few things, Rico. If you think about it, if she was always watching Homer and Mose, I mean, it kind of, leans out there. Aaron, did you have a show you wanted to bring up while we have you on screen?
Did I have a show to bring up?
Yeah.
I think so. We had our last episode must have gone up on Monday, I think.
No, Aaron. I meant like a cartoon show, like the topic.
Oh, a cartoon show. I don't know.
Why are you here, motherfucker?
I came to say hi. Jeez, right. Louise. I'm sorry. I'll go. Bye.
No.
Well, we're gonna rotate through anyway. But yeah, that's
cartoons. I was big into DuckTales. I love DuckTales.
There you go. So you know what I'm talking about. You remember what I'm talking about when they had like that. And maybe it was a TV movie. Maybe it wasn't like the movie, but there was definitely.
It wasn't the movie.
I remember the movie. I watched the movie over and over and over.
Yeah,
with the magic lamp and Christopher Lloyd as the big bad guy. Oh my god!
Oh, you stupid son of a bitch! You imagine if Christopher Lloyd we made like a fucking rated R version of that movie? We would fucking flock to that thing like, oh, you stupid fucking ducks! Fucktails.
Also, who was it that was talking about Care Bears? Am I imagining
Gummy
this?
Bears.
Or was gummy bears?
No. But if you got a Care Bears thing, that's another one anyway. So bring it, because I got.
Bring it on your Care Bears.
Do we remember the really this vaguely sort of demonic theme that existed in the Care Bears with the bad guy? Or am I just imagining this, that he had horns and was some kind of devil goddish character? Or was that My Little Pony? I can't remember. But it was weird.
I honestly can't remember.
Jess, I'm telling you, you drink too much.
Stop!
All right. That may be it.
She's sober tonight, but I saw her take a sip of a beer. She's not completely sober.
It's a beer. Come on. Jesus.
Hey, I know people.
I mean, to me, that's like I took a drink of water.
Yeah, but I know people where a beer does a lot.
Well, yes.
I am not those people.
You are from
12 vodkas.
You are from the South.
You know what?
It's 15th century rules. We can't drink water because it might, turn our stomachs or something weird.
You bringing up the Care Bears though made me think of a whole bunch of other shows that I'd forgotten about. You got My Little Pony, you've got Strawberry Shortcake, Rainbow Bright. I mean, those are all shows too.
Pound Puppies.
Pound Pound Puppies. Oh! Mark just brought up Gem in the Holograms. Fucking Gem in the Holograms was a thing. I mean, yeah.
Gem.
You know they made a movie?
Does anybody remember
She-Ra?
Fucking
Hour? Fuck yeah.
He-Man, fucking Thundercats.
Yeah, the old one. The new one is fully fucking garbage. The Thundercats redo is terrible. Oh yeah, don't even bother. Don't even bother.
Okay.
Kevin Smith's making a He-Man show.
That one I'm curious to see. I'm very curious to see that.
Mark Hamill's coming for that one as Skeletor.
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
He's going to be badass.
Yeah.
They just redid Transformers on Netflix, and that came out really well. No, it came out really well. It did.
I haven't seen it, so I'm not gonna. I'm just judging it
No.
before I've seen it, so I'm not gonna do that.
Mark brought up GoBot, so it just makes me think, shut the fuck up, GoBot.
Yeah. Yeah. But
I am Optimus Prime.
yeah, no,
Can we talk about CJ? Were you too old for the Animaniacs craze?
hell no, loved Animaniacs. It was one of my favorite shows. Yeah, loved Animaniacs. I'm so excited for the reboot coming out in 2 weeks. So fucking excited. Cannot wait for that shit.
Feathers. I'm excited for Good Feathers.
I'm excited for all of it. I'm with you. Good Feathers is gonna be great, but you know, it's gonna be.
But Good Feathers is a bigger challenge because like there hasn't been a whole lot of great mafia fucking movies that have come out. Like they might finally make a reference to, like Sopranos. They'll probably do a reference like The Irishman and have it like 4 hours long, and they'll be like
Departed.
"Fuck."
They could do a Departed reference too. I think that'd be new.
I would watch the shit out of like a fucking chicken doing a Jack Nicholson impression. Like call it the Departed.
Yeah. Did you see? By the way, Tom brings up a good point. Did you see Family Guy did like an all Godfather episode, like an all Italian movie episode?
No,
it was last week. It was this past week episode.
I don't have cable.
It's on
I haven't
Hulu.
seen it yet.
Oh well, I haven't hooked up my fucking PlayStation.
Robotech. Oh my god, fucking Robotech.
What the fuck is Robotech?
It was like a Christ. We'll have to let Mark jump in and tell us about it, but because I can't describe it. But that brings me right to like Transor Z.
Here, I'll jump off. Mark, jump in.
Well, whoever. I mean,
I'll jump off.
I was gonna say I can jump off too. My knowledge of cartoons is very limited.
That's all right. We got Transor Z, Voltron, all that.
Voltron.
That's that. Silverhawks. Does anyone remember fucking Silverhawks? Silverhawks was the shit.
You're just making up shit now. You're just talking about your old screen names on AIM. Fucking Silverhawk and shit.
Mark's having
this is how backwards I was. Like there was one episode of like I think it was Tiny Toons.
Yeah.
And the entire episode was like 3 music videos basically. Mm-hmm. And I think they were all They Might Be Giants music videos or takeoffs of them. Okay. And for whatever reason, I fucking loved that episode. I taped it. I watched it over and over. Triangle Man.
Oh fuck, I remember that fuck. Do you remember Freakazoid?
Yeah, well, Freakazoid, unfortunately, I just saw ads for it. I never actually caught the show.
I don't think I saw that either. I remember that.
But I am aware of it, and I know it exists, and I know it is something special.
What
and I just wish I'd gotten
that? Mark?
Me, bitch.
No, I realize it's...
It's Brittany, bitch!
Brittany is not looking good, buddy.
No, this is artwork for the show that we do on Monday. All My Friends Are Undead. I play the storyteller of a werewolf Vampire the Masquerade campaign, and my friend Joel did artwork to render me as the storyteller for that campaign.
I was about to ask you if that was Joel's, because that looks I would have guessed that was Joel all day. Not just because you guys are friends, but that just looks like his style for sure.
Oh yeah, it absolutely is. It absolutely is.
Yeah. Well, all right, man. Welcome to Getting Vokl with PodAskew. Give us some shows, man. Or there was one you were supposed to elaborate on. I forget where it is now. It's so far up in
the
the
show
chat.
I was going to elaborate on. It was a concept I was going to elaborate on. But,
we're having fun.
That's fine. But one thing before we get started here.
Mark, I'm sorry. Just Trey's leaving. So Trey, thanks for hanging out with us. I'm sorry about your battery or whatever, but thanks for hanging out. He's gone already. Fuck it. All right. Sorry, Mark.
Thank you.
That's fine. 2 things before we get started. Both about like the theme of the episode, which was the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame stuff.
Yeah.
I just want to say my piece and then move on with our day. One, it's kind of fucked up that Kraftwerk was nominated this year and got beat out by 9 Inch Nails, who was very specifically inspired by Kraftwerk.
I would also say Depeche Mode inspired Nails as well, and they made it, but I get your point. Yeah.
Right. Second, how pissed off is fucking Biggie Smalls that Tupac Shakur got into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame 3 years before him?
Well, considering he's dead, probably not very pissed.
He's up in heaven just
They're
being like,
both dead.
motherfucker, are you kidding me?
Well,
Biggie Smalls was on Marvel. He was on fucking Luke Cage. You got to, Tupac wasn't on there.
That's fair. That's fair.
Wow, yeah.
all right.
I mean, no, he probably didn't, but it's just the principle of the thing. But yeah, so to elaborate on the point that we were discussing earlier, and I won't make it miserable or anything, I promise. So there's this basic litmus test of an idea about the idea of, can we separate the art from the artist, which goes, the most extreme version is, can you appreciate Adolf Hitler the painter?
No.
I've never seen his artwork, but probably not.
Right, absolutely. And that's where I go with Bill Cosby. And I have the same opinion of Chris Benoit, is there's going to be people you can't possibly separate the art from the artist. You just can't. You just can't do it, because what they've done is so fucking heinous that it doesn't happen. Bill Cosby is one of those people.
Sure. Listen. I wasn't defending Cosby when I brought it up. I was just thinking
Not an open question.
Yeah.
Well, let me just say this. John Wayne Gacy entertained a lot of children.
Fuck him.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
I mean, he is right, though. He is right, though.
Yeah.
Jimmy Savile entertained a lot of children, too.
Oh,
Charles Manson.
Oh, God.
Charles Manson wrote some fucking songs.
Oh, God.
Aaron, welcome to PodAskew. Like,
Oh, God.
Roman Polanski made great movies. That's right, Jess. I mean,
yeah.
Roman Polanski still makes great movies, but
no, he doesn't. No, he doesn't.
I haven't watched a Roman Polanski movie in years. Woody Allen made some good movies.
Oh.
Yeah, Anyway, shitty people did great things. That's kind of the point. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like, for example, you're not going to throw fucking what was that movie we were talking about last week?
Which one?
The one specifically, fucking, I can't remember the name of it. Kaiser Soze.
Oh, Usual Suspects.
Yeah. Right, are you going to throw Usual Suspects out just because Kevin Spacey writes a bunch of people? Probably not.
The Kevin Spacey thing is muddled, though, because I don't have a defense. I mean, I think he handled...
My rule of thumb on that is, if you're at more than 5 people accusing you, you probably did some shit.
And he's at like 7.
Yeah.
No, let me put it this way. I would be more inclined to say fuck Usual Suspects because of Bryan Singer than I would for Kevin Spacey. Is that fair?
Also fair point.
That's fair.
But yeah, fucking going back.
That said, my favorite Kevin Spacey movie, The Ref, I gotta say I haven't had any urge to watch it since that news came out. So Dennis Leary? Dennis Leary is like a small-time crook and winds up getting embroiled with this fighting family.
It's funny. Christmas flick.
It is. It's genuinely one of my favorite movies. I love The Ref. But I legitimately have not watched it since that news came out.
What's it?
And it's the same thing. There's a Spacey movie I had that we've talked about, Rico. I think we brought it up 2 episodes back, called Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil, and I watched it for that episode again, and it was harder to watch now because of Spacey. You know what I mean? So
I'll tell you. See, when he's like, spoilers, when he's in 7, he's a great fucking villain. But what is the utmost creepy fucking movie is, and we were all like okay with it at the time, was American Beauty. Like, we were all kind of okay with him trying to fuck a teenage girl.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I was never okay with that movie. I was never okay with that movie. I'm not saying I'm better than you or something. I just never liked that movie personally.
Mark, you don't have to. You don't have to say that. We already know it's true.
Aw, that's not nice. I'm at least as good as you, but I think we can both agree we're better than CJ.
Don't. I'm not touching that one. You've met CJ. You have a little bit more grounds than I do.
Jay, thank you for the coins, by the way. Thank you for the V coin. We appreciate that.
Way to divert, CJ.
So to actually get back on the proper fucking topic that we're talking about. Robotech.
Thank you.
So Robotech was this fucking pastiche of shit that was cut apart from a Japanese show called, I want to say it was Space Defense Force Macross.
That sounds
but
right,
I
actually.
may be wrong about that. I may be wrong about the correct title, but it was part of the Macross franchise. So
I thought that's what Trump called his new Space Force, Space Defense.
no, it's what Trump calls his dick. Anyway, so
where no woman has gone before. 3.
But
willingly, anyway.
Basically, the original Macross show and every iteration of it that has occurred since then is based around the idea of there's some sort of fucking war going on, or there's some kind of fucking battle going on, and people in spaceships that are capable of transforming from what look like jet fighters into robots are the front lines of that battle. Also, there's idol singers for some reason.
Isn't that and to be fair, Gundam Wing is very well, no, because only Wing Zero made the transformation, but Wing Zero is very much the same thing, isn't it?
How many
Gundam
fucking
came out
spin-offs
roughly-
of Transformers were there?
Neither of these were spin-off of Transformers. Japan
Yeah.
just really loves fucking robots.
Holy shit, dude.
So
Even Power Rangers had fucking robots.
Oh yeah,
Well-
Sentai shows are a big thing in Japan. Even now, they're still a big thing. Japan loves
Hentai shows?
robots. Sentai
Yeah.
show. That's what Power Rangers is called in Japan.
Oh,
Yeah.
I
this
heard
is-
hentai. I was like, that's a whole
No,
other
no,
fucking
no, no,
thing.
no. There are hentai shows featuring
That's
Power
pretty
Rangers.
popular,
but that's a
too, to be
completely
fair.
different episode, and I don't want to talk about that.
No.
I do. I'll come back for that episode.
All right. Well,
Speaking of which, I gotta go, gentlemen.
Aaron,
Thanks for having me.
thanks for hanging out with us. We appreciate it, man. And we'll
Absolutely.
work out
Looking
that-
forward to the inevitable crossover.
We'll work out the details for sure. Yep.
All right.
Yeah,
Good
man.
night, gentlemen.
Good night. I like that guy. He's funny.
He is funny. Yeah.
Hi, Todd.
What's going on, Todd? And the inevitable delay. There he is.
Is the delay that bad?
It usually
Oh,
is.
man.
It's all right. We don't mind.
It's about a good 5 seconds, but that's okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
That explains
Everybody's
Jess-
having shitty internet tonight.
Jess is putting on her Power Rangers shirts. I swear to God, first time I read that, I thought it said Power Rangers shorts. I was like, well, I need to know what Power Rangers shorts are. But that's another thing. But Mark, getting back to my question, no, but is Robotech and Gundam in the same class in terms of like what you were talking about, like the style of show?
Yes.
Gundam style?
robots.
Well, Macross, both of them have like their own specific focus points. Macross generally tries to focus more on the weird intermixing of combat amongst people versus like the whole idol singers supporting everyone thing, which is a very Japanese thing, which is mainly why Macross has never been a big deal outside of Robotech in the 80s. Whereas Gundam just kind of goes all over the fucking place. So
Yeah.
but they both came out originally approximately around the same time, and I think both of them combined with what we call Transor Z, which over there is called Mazinger Z, is a big reason why Japan just has like a massive fucking hard-on for robots.
Voltron too. That was all that same window. wasn't it?
Voltron, Transformers was also a big thing because Transformers was a big thing for them. Power
but
Rangers.
Transformers started here, though, if I recall, as opposed to those other shows you've listed. They started here.
Yeah, but it became a big deal in Japan, and it's kind of it's hard to really like.
Well,
go ahead.
Good. Todd.
I was gonna say it all started with the toys. The toys were what started everything as far as those things goes. Transformers came from Takara Tomy, and then the toys for Macross were from like their competitor,
right?
As far as the mid robot toys and stuff. In fact, the toy that they used for Jetfire in Transformers was a Macross model.
Yep.
They just had it painted differently.
Okay.
So they really were robots in disguise.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of different competing companies, and now they're all basically owned by fucking Bandai Namco
Right.
in Japan, which is why we get the Super Robot Wars franchise of video games that are never going to come out over here because 12 different people in the U.S. own the fucking licensing, and all of them hate each other. Whereas in Japan, Bandai Namco
Bandai
owns
is the one
literally
that-
everything.
Bandai's the one that had Robotech and Vokl, I think.
Rico.
I don't know if they own Robotech at this point. I think they do, but
Hold on. Rico's got you wanted to say. It looked like you wanted to say something.
As far as I'm concerned, the only creator of like the best fucking robot shit was Tom Hanks and Big. Like as far as I'm concerned, Japan stole from Josh. That's all I'm saying.
Just moving forward from that, Mark. Outside of the robot shows, which are all good picks, by the way, do you have a couple? And honestly, like I was thinking, I can't believe we only have 45 minutes left already. We're rolling through this episode tonight. I wanted to get into some more. You hate to use the word adult shows because that sounds dirtier than I mean it, but I was thinking like when I was growing up, you would watch stuff like TGI Friday, and it was Full House, Family Matters, Perfect Strangers, shows like that I also kind of want to, because I grew up on those too. We're talking about shows we grew up on. I grew up on those too. But
Boy Meets World.
Boy Meets World, yeah, exactly. Mark, but did you have another show any other besides, I mean, they were great picks, but did you have any of these other ones you might want to mention or talk about?
Damn, there's like a million fucking things I could fucking talk about. I got to be honest. Mask.
Sure. Mask.
Mask.
Yep.
Oh, they're turning that into a live action multi movie universe.
I wouldn't hate that. I got to be honest. I liked the original Mask, so I would actually be interested in watching a live action version of it.
If they do it right.
Well, I mean, most of the cartoons from the 80s are fucking terrible.
Well, sure.
CJ, look what Jess says.
I saw. We need to see that before the night's out, but we don't go right this second, but we do need to see that at some point. There was another show. You guys might remember this. Rico, you might be too young because I don't think it ran for more than a season, and I think it was in the like mid to late 80s, so you might not have seen it. But there were these three commandos, and they wore these suits that then they're wearing.
Yes. I can't remember the fucking name for it, but like they had like interchangeable parts, and one of them would go underwater, and one of them was a geologist and shit. Air,
land, and sea were their specialties. Each one of them had a special like area, and it would be those three. And what the fuck was that called, Mark? You're quick with this research.
So I can't remember the name of it either. Hold on, let me do some Google foo.
Centurions.
Centurion, yeah.
And
good job, Mark.
My buddy had them, so we used to play with them because they had toys too. I'm unlike Transformers. I believe Centurions was a show first, and then they made toys. But I think Todd just lost out. Jess, let's see this White Ranger while we're waiting. Since Todd,
I think he might have dropped to let her come on.
Maybe if he did, thank you, Todd. If you just lost connection, you're welcome to come back at some point before we finish this up. But yeah,
See, I have a question. Hold on. Just 1 second, Mark. I have a question because I remember there was toys that I really was into, but I have no idea if it was a show or if I'm just imagining there's a show. Do you remember those fucking? They were sharks, like big fucking, like
Street Sharks.
Yeah, with the fucking rollerblades and shit. I only had the toys. I never saw the show. I was always like mystified by that.
Look at White Ranger Jess. I fucking love it.
White Ranger Jess. I put it on, just inspired. But I'm also wearing a Carhartt because also I want to have a little bit of that thank God I'm a country boy inspiration from son-in-law. But yes, I am a Ranger.
You're better looking than Tommy by far. That's all I gotta say. You wear it better than he did. Cowboys.
Tommy in the 90s was fucking attractive.
He was very attractive.
Tommy in the 90s was attractive.
I'd have hit that.
Yeah. Now he's kind of looking like a rough patch of road, but
I saw him a couple years ago at Comic-Con. I can't disagree with you.
He's kind of a bit of a douche from what I've heard about him. Like he kind of is just like if you want anything signed, he charges up the ass. Like he's that type of guy.
And
really?
And it's like $70 for like a 5x7. Like he's
who
really,
fucking knew he would actually turn into the Green Ranger, right?
Yeah.
I got that shirt too.
The irony is, when I saw him at Comic-Con, like I don't know how many of you guys have ever been to a Comic-Con, but when they go to Comic-Con, they have signings. They tend to have like things hanging behind them, like on the wall, to like represent what they've done. The only thing on his wall was the Power Rangers. Like everyone else, like Burt Reynolds was there, and they had Smokey and the Bandit and all the shit that he's done. It was nothing but the Green Ranger. Nothing.
And White Ranger.
No, on the wall, it was nothing but the Green Ranger. I understand he did.
That's fucked up. They could have been like, introducing the White Ranger, also the Green Ranger.
Also the Red Ranger.
Yeah. He was briefly the Red Ranger.
I still just want to know whose bright fucking idea it was to just be like, yeah, we're going to introduce a guy called the White Power Ranger.
Oh my God, I never thought of it that way.
They had a Black Power Ranger.
Yeah, but that's fine.
Mark, you know what
I never thought of it that way, Mark. You've ruined it for me forever.
I am helping.
Who's the fucking idiot who said, let's have the Asian girl be the Yellow Ranger?
Oh yeah. Well, Mark, I'm instantly transported to the tabletop night where we played the Power Ranger game you have, and that was terrible.
And Nate spent the whole fucking night making jokes about how Trini died in a car crash. Yes,
no, not just Nate. We all did it. Except for you, the four of us were equally.
I was very upset.
upset.
So CJ, you and I we've both talked about the show Dinner for Five.
We did.
Yeah, you know, the fucking Jon Favreau fucking show, Dinner for Five.
Oh, did I thought you said Jennifer 5. I was like, I have no idea what you're talking about, but okay.
Jennifer 5, excuse me.
Yes, we have talked about that. Yes.
There's that segment that we always talk about where it's Ben Affleck, Kevin Smith, Jennifer Garner, and they're all talking about who they get mistaken for.
Yeah.
And Jennifer Garner says, "Oh, I get mistaken for Amy Jo Johnson, who was the Pink Ranger."
Yeah.
And every time I think of the Pink Ranger, I think of Ben Affleck's response, like, "Who the fuck is Amy Jo Johnson?" And I'm like, I mean, art for me, that was like my first fucking crush. It was like her and Topanga when I was like,
agreed.
6.
No, for me, as great as they were, and I won't argue that, my first crush was Kelly Kapowski, Saved by the Bell.
Oh, I miss Saved by the Bell, man. I tried watching it.
Back. That's coming back in 2 weeks.
Yeah, but should it?
I don't have a problem with them bringing back Saved by the Bell just because they've got enough of the original cast as associated with it. Even Lark Voorhees is coming back for an episode. The only person not associated is fucking Dustin Diamond, and fuck him.
Yeah, but I would much rather fucking see Screech in jail. Like, show me that show.
True. You're right.
It was called no. He had a reality show briefly, so you saw it. It's out there.
I didn't see shit. I'm talking about, like, I want to take Screech, have Dustin Diamond play him as Dustin Diamond, put that in the show. He's just like, hey guys, you want to buy some pot, and stab? Like, that's what I want to see. And then right before he's about to stab somebody, the bell rings, and then Saved by the Bell.
That's so funny. Oh man!
That's what
Considering Dustin Diamond has a pornographic movie out, I think we've all seen far more of Dustin Diamond than anybody needs to see for the rest of their existence.
Doesn't he have a dong double, or did I make that up?
I don't know.
I don't know. Did you make that up?
I mean, it's highly possible, but I don't think I did.
That is not a thing I want to Google. We're just going to assume that he did, and we're going to move on with our day, because I do not want Dustin Diamond dong double in my Google history.
Is Dustin as hard as a diamond?
Oh, well, this one.
I highly doubt it.
Not in these days.
Oh man.
Cocaine tends to have that effect.
Cocaine
but, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, what are you gonna do?
Cocaine's out all
Not
the time.
cocaine.
I mean,
Or
No.
are you?
it depends where you get it from, and not during COVID, because that'd be really stupid.
Oh, right, Rico. It depends on how stepped on the product is. So
All
all
the shit, all the shit I've ever snorted is from someone I trust.
Listen, my state just legalized weed. I'm good.
Can I give a big shout out to Oregon for just
Right.
decriminalizing everything?
Yeah, I don't know if that was a good idea. Like, I mean, like the crime will go down, but we're gonna see all Portland. Portland's already fucked up. Like
I
Portland
know
is already
I mean, they didn't-
plugged up.
They
I know
didn't
5
decriminalize ownership with intent to distribute. They just said that, if somebody pops you with a fucking a fucking 8-ball in your fucking trunk, you're not going to go to jail for that.
Right, but I think they still got the message wrong, because I know 5 separate people that are like, I'm fucking moving to Oregon like tomorrow. So I mean, I
You might want to have 5 separate interventions with those people, buddy.
no, that's not going to do any good. But anyway, that's a different conversation again.
I can attest that it I'm just gonna look at you and be like, all right, cool. That's your opinion, sir.
No, sirs, I'm with you. No, sir, singular. Thank you. Oh God, where the hell do we go from here? Like,
I got another show. Two Stupid Dogs. You guys fucking did you
Oh
watch
my
that?
god.
Oh,
I never saw it. So
Oh man, Two Stupid
Oh,
Dogs was
Go ahead.
no. Two Stupid Dogs lived up to his name, but you couldn't help but fucking love it. For me, at
Mhm.
least.
I came up with after you guys.
it's just
No,
one
no,
of
go
those.
ahead. No, you go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead. No,
Both
Mark,
of you stop.
you go.
Mark, you go. Children.
Well, no, it's. I wanted her to go because I'm going to go completely off on a different topic.
okay,
Something
so-
about something you mentioned earlier.
Oh no, go off on your topic. I was just gonna say that I still like to smoke and illegally stream, but
Right on. So when you guys mentioned Centurions, it reminded me of a fucking fucked up show when CJ and I were kids.
What's that?
That Inhumanoids.
I didn't see that. I don't know that one.
So Inhumanoids was this fucking horror show where these 3 giant monsters ripped their way out of the ground and started trying to wage war against humanity. And
Sounds like
one of them
2020.
had an open fucking rib cage that he would pick people up and put them into as a prison. I fucking was traumatized by that when I was a kid.
Yeah, I'm gonna Google. I just Googled it, Mark. I've never heard of this one. This
You know what you just remind me of, though, Mark? Real Monsters.
Yeah.
yeah.
What was that fucking little gremlin fucks? Gimpy, Skimpy, Fuzzies, Fucky?
Crumb was the one that
His
held
eyes.
his
He held his
hands, right?
eyes.
Held his eyes in his hands. Yeah.
Dude, are you kidding me? I could do half of that right now with the armpits and everything. Like, I just,
Oh Jesus!
here, let me just take my. I'll just here. There, there we are.
Did we lose you, Mark?
No, I'm here.
Okay.
I was just looking up stuff on Inhumanoids while we were also
Mark,
talking.
You being more into the anime type of style show, do you remember Silverhawks?
Yes.
You okay? Because I feel like I'm the only.
I would imagine Todd probably remembers it too.
Yeah, I know.
Sounds like
Todd, I saw said something in the chat, but he was the only one, so I was just wondering.
I remember. But yeah, no, they had the guy in question was named Decompose. He had a snake skull for a head, a rib cage that opened up into bloody guts that he would stash people into to carry them around with, and he was voiced by Starscream.
Oh well, there you go.
Also, he would touch people and they would turn old because they would literally decompose on the spot.
Because that's what you do.
This was not a show that they should have made for like 6-year-old children. It just should not have fucking happened. And it was
not a show they should have made. I'm just gonna leave it there.
It was a good show. It was a good show when I was a kid.
What was this called again?
Inhumanoids.
Okay.
Yeah, also Cobra Commander. Also Cobra Commander.
What I'm watching.
Another
That's
one.
Oh,
Exo Squad.
dinosaurs.
Oh, there's that is a good show. Hold on, let's transition over to that. Jay brought up a good one. Dinosaurs from ABC.
Not the mama, not the mama.
We lost. I don't know if Jess dropped
She
out
probably just dropped out.
or yeah. That was a great show. I fucking loved it. So I got my mom for Christmas one year. They had the doll that you could pull the string and it would say all the like catchphrases and shit. Yeah, that was fun. How about Alf? Did you guys watch Alf?
I sort of missed Alf. Alf wasn't really.
Alf was really interesting to me because it was entertaining and really popular, but after the first season, nobody wanted to fucking work on it.
Yeah.
The only thing I think of when I think of Alf is a segment of Tourette's guy where he fucking is on the phone with his grandma. He's like, I'm watching Alf. Alf! Alf! You're 93 years old. You don't know what the fuck Alf is? Hangs up on her.
We talked about Alf briefly on an episode, maybe not an episode, but you and I had a conversation about it. And Mark, I would love your input on this more than anybody because you think in the same logics that I tend to think in, right?
Right.
The character's name was Alf, right?
Yes.
But when he was on Melmac, he had a name that we
Gordon
know
Shumway.
because they said it, Gordon Shumway, right? Why didn't he just let everyone call it? Like, I'd be like, motherfuckers, my name is Gordon, not Alf.
I mean, think about it from this perspective, CJ. Think about it from this perspective. You're a million miles from home. Your home planet got blown up because every motherfucker on the planet turned on their hair dryers at the same time. You have
Did it blow up? I don't
it
remember.
blew up. Melmac blew up. It was destroyed.
Okay.
So your home planet's blown up. You might be the only person left of your race. You just landed in this asshole's backyard. And they're like, look, there are people on this planet who will dissect you and attempt to turn you into shit. You can live with us, get free room and board. All you got to do is put up with us calling you, Cracker. Are you going to be like, no, turn me over to the people who are going to dissect me, or are you going to go, shit, I guess my name's Cracker now?
And don't eat my cat. That was the other thing. But yeah, no, Kateri, I realized that was an acronym, but what I'm saying is that the motherfucker had a name, and it wasn't hard to pronounce. It was Gordon.
Okay, but here's 2 points, right? E.T. is not his fucking name, yet we call him E.T.
Well, right, but E.T. couldn't convey that his name was whatever.
Eventually he could. Eventually he was able to speak.
He didn't speak, no, but Alf spoke perfect fucking English compared to E.T.
Here's the other thing. Robin Williams played a motherfucker named Mork from Ork.
Yeah.
Like,
to be fair, everybody did call him Mork.
Yeah, his name was actually Mork.
Right. But we're talking about fucked up planets and names. Like, who the fuck decided you from the planet Ork? I'm gonna name you Mork. Like, not Jimmy or even Alf or some shit. Just fucking Mork. Like, that is basically what they did was like, oh, Mork from Ork. And he's like, all the other aliens on fucking Ork are like Frank, John, Luke, all these other fucking normal names. It's like, my parents are dicks.
Oh, man.
That show, that was the least of that fucking show's problems.
That's true. Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
So, okay, I'm about to take up the next 5 minutes of your life. Golden Girls.
Oh, you just chased Todd away with Golden Girls.
How do you know it's the Golden Girls, Todd? Come back.
No, I think he was like about to try and say something, but we weren't aware of it. Todd, was that what it was?
If it was, it wasn't on purpose by any means. Golden Girls. Here's the thing about Golden Girls, because we watch a lot of Golden Girls in this house, unfortunately, because they run it every Sunday from like 6 till 4 on like Nickelodeon or whatever. And
Night.
No, they run it during the day on Nickelodeon. So I guess it's still technically Nick at Night, but they run it from 6 a.m. to like 4 in the afternoon. So that's not really Nick at Night, but yes.
Anyway. It's night somewhere, God damn it.
Right. You know what? Like, Mark, and you know this, because I think you brought it up on a different episode, but there's that whole Zach Morris thing on YouTube. what's it called? Zach Morris is an asshole.
Zach Morris is an
Like
asshole.
that?
Yes.
Yeah,
Zach Morris is trash.
that's it. Zach Morris is trash. Blanche isn't any better at all. Blanche is a terrible human fucking being. I'm sorry.
Wait.
Fair.
Yeah.
She's supposed to be.
Is she though?
Yes.
If we're being honest, everyone but fucking Rose is kind of like a pain in the ass to fucking like just to talk to. Like, if imagine you live next door to the fucking Golden Girls, right? And you want to borrow a cup of sugar. You got one who's trying to fuck you. You got one who's like in fucking Saint Olaf and like not saying
Rose.
anything.
That's Rose.
I'm saying all of them as a collective are fucking weird. And then you got a short little Sicilian bitch who just like wants to tear you a new asshole. And you got the daughter who's just the same thing but taller. Like, you would never fucking borrow a cup of sugar. You would just fucking never go near them unless you're desperate. And then you hit that Blanche. What's up,
Rico?
What's
You
up?
and I would actively hang out with Sophia, and you know this.
Oh, I would totally hang out with Sophia.
You and I would. We
I
are
would.
not normal. Yeah,
That's
we
fair.
are not normal.
That's
Yeah.
fair.
I'm saying for a normal dude who lives next to the Golden Girls, or eventually the Golden Palace, because that was a thing too.
Yeah,
Ugh.
well,
Yeah, that's how deep
What did
cuts
the
I
Golden-
went.
What did the Golden Girls need? A 6-year-old. Fuck out of here.
there was a spin-off though that was really good. There was a spin-off called
Empty Nest.
Empty Nest. Right. Yeah. Empty Nest was really good. And Joe Isuzu was one of the main characters, but I can't remember what the character's name was.
Charlie.
Terry, I have to correct you. Sophia would not be my great grandmother. Sophia would be my dad.
Yeah.
In
I
fact,
talked to Ron.
my
Yeah.
dad's dog is named Sophia.
Yes, David Leisure was Charlie Dietz, who
That's
was
it. Thank you.
a huge asshole and also dumb as shit. And it was great.
Yep.
He was like, I'm going to be a guy spy. And then, like, at the end of the episode, he comes in a gypsy costume, and they're like, the fuck are you supposed to be? I'm a guy spy. No, that's a gypsy. Oh, well, I'm gonna try and get a new suit costume. This sounds exotic. Pirate.
But there was a show similar to that in terms of having a really dumb guy. Jim J. Bullock played the character. I'm looking up the name of the show
Gabriel?
now. What? No.
Gabriel?
No. He lived in the dude's attic or something. I'm looking it up now. Hold on.
I have no fucking clue what show you guys are talking about.
Well, Jim J. Bullock was from Too Close for Comfort. Mark, do you remember that show?
Oh God.
I guess so.
Yeah.
It wasn't bad, but it was just
There was
that
this-
felt like the closest thing that America ever made to a British comedy.
Yeah, that's true. I have to agree. That's true. It's the closest thing. You know what, Mark? It's Faulty Towers-esque.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, did you end up ever watching Faulty Towers?
Yeah, I told you I'd seen like an episode prior to us doing that recording, and I went and
okay.
watched a couple other ones. Yeah,
Oh, good. We haven't talked about it, so I'm just curious what you thought of.
it was serviceable. Yeah, I mean,
You were so hard to please. Jesus Christ. It was serviceable.
yeah,
Again, I don't hold it against people if they don't like Britcoms. I love Britcoms, but I get it's if you're not British, it's not going to be for you. So it's very hit or miss.
we got 20 minutes left. I got two hard ones to bring up in terms of like, because it goes back to what we were talking about like separating the art from the artist. Because the shows themselves were fantastic, but the artists are kind of
I know what you're bringing up.
Well, one of which we've kind of already talked about the artist, because you got the Cosby Show, which was a fucking genius show, and then you also have Roseanne.
Yeah.
You know,
Fuck.
like,
Ooh.
I loved Roseanne, still love Roseanne, love the Connors, like the reboot that they did is actually really entertaining. And it was even good when she was on it before she said the awful stuff that she said. And then let's be fair, Roseanne was never like a great human being to begin with, but you know, she kind of jumped off the fucking edge, you know, with this last thing. Kateri, I can't say it's better than the OG Roseanne. I can't. It's good. I'm not going to argue that it's good, that it's not good, but it's not better.
Can we all agree that no one really watched Roseanne for Roseanne? We all watched it for Dan.
Oh, without question. Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
And to prove my point, they fucking killed her off, and people are still watching. That's my point.
Well, right. And here's the thing with the new one, and as great as Dan still is, because he is, what makes the new one good is Darlene's got this boyfriend, and I can't remember the character's name, so if anyone in the chat can give it to me, that'd be great. He's very much like Dan was in the original run. He's very similar in the way that he acts, and I fucking love that character. It's a great show.
Shit, dude, Jess, you just fucking brought back some memories. Third Rock from the Sun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, hold on, Mark. Did you have any thoughts on the thing that I brought up, and then we'll go to Third Rock?
About what in particular?
Well, just the fact. I mean, like you have like these shows that are like weird.
The Cosby Show is entirely too well. It's for me. The Cosby Show is too entrenched with Bill Cosby. It's absolutely his baby. It doesn't stand particularly well without him.
Right.
And what he did was so heinous, I can't go back and watch it, but I still acknowledge its cultural impact. For me, I would sooner go back to a different world, personally.
I was going to ask you, can you do a different world though?
Because Bill Cosby was not associated with that. It was
he was.
Well, they had the character of his daughter on for one season, and then it just went off to be its own thing.
Right,
which
but he was a producer for the whole run of the series.
Sure, but producing it and being directly a part of it on screen are different things.
Oh no,
I think
no doubt. That's why I was asking, because like I was wondering how when you said entrenched, because he was entrenched in the series, but you're right, not on screen. So
right.
I wasn't sure where you were going.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Todd said his internet is not doing well, so he may not do a show. Todd, if you could try it, like unplug your modem and all that shit, and try and do some technical shit.
You got 20 minutes. You
got time.
Stuff.
I gotta say, to go with the Cosby shit, like there's a movie.
Damn.
There's a movie. What, Mark?
I was just saying, I hope Todd's internet recovers.
Yeah.
I
have a hard time with the movie Jack with Robin Williams, because obviously Robin Williams and Bill Cosby. Like, I tried watching it, and it's fucked up. It's like you watch it, you're like, oh, dude, he's dead. Oh, dude, he sucks. Like,
yeah.
Like, these are two guys that were like part of everyone's childhood going back to the fucking 80s and then some. You know, and I can't watch it. I really tried. I tried. Like, there's other Robin Williams movies that I still hard that I can watch. Like Mrs. Doubtfire is just fucking funny,
right?
And I can watch it. I still cry, you know. But like, Jack was that guilty pleasure for me. Like when I was a kid, I was like, oh, Robin Williams as a kid, this is awesome. This is the poor man's Big, you know, sort of. And it's also probably Francis Ford Coppola's fucking worst film.
Yeah.
Twixt. I take that back.
Okay.
Look,
no, you're right.
As much as I liked it, Vampire in Brooklyn was not Coppola.
No, that was Wes Craven.
Yeah. What was that? There was a Coppola movie that we watched recently.
Dracula.
That's it. Yes, that's pretty bad too. I mean,
it does not hold up, dude.
No.
Dracula, Bram Stoker's Dracula is not fucking hold up. It's great. Like, if you really want a true to form interpretation of the book, it's pretty good. But
that was also during that weird period where Keanu Reeves was still learning how to be an actor. So you're just kind of like, Dracula, he's grown young.
Dude, I almost hit water all over my entire desk just then. Thank you, Mark.
My favorite part of Keanu trying to fucking speak in a British accent is pronouncing Budapest.
Oh my god.
By way of Budapest.
Wait a minute, hold on. Jess, what formed a lot of early sexuality with you weird girls? Which
Dracula, probably.
I assume weird girls are the only girls that follow this show, to be honest. But
I mean,
Well,
all my
lucky
friends,
lady
all my
fucking
female
girls.
friends are weird girls.
what she said thank you. I didn't hear what you said, Mark. I'm sorry.
All my female friends are weird girls.
No, you answered my question for her, and I didn't hear
Dracula
it.
probably. Dracula
Oh,
probably.
okay.
I said Keanu. I think it kind of goes hand in hand.
Well, yeah, but there's also that scene where like the 3 female vampires molest Keanu.
Yeah.
Okay, there's also a part where Gary Oldman is a giant wolf creature and he fucks a fucking woman, and we're like,
Yeah.
Look, man.
we were all watching that, like, what the fuck? Like,
Look, man, not just weird girls discovered their sexuality from that film. There is a furry subculture for a reason.
True.
Yeah,
Some
but
people want to fuck Jessica Rabbit. Some people want to fuck Roger Rabbit. I'm not going to argue.
He's not wrong. I know a furry. I know.
I wanted to fuck
I know,
Betty
like, 8.
Boop.
What's that, Rigo?
I wanted to fuck Betty Boop.
That's fair.
All right.
I'd fuck Betty Boop.
Jess, she'd have a Jess on. That's some Jess on Jess action right there.
Giggity.
See, I was gonna say something like I'd fuck Jess too, but that just feels uncomfortable and weird. So I'm just gonna go onward. Anyway, to answer the other question about Roseanne, Roseanne was really more of an ensemble cast show that
Sure.
relied
Go
less
back
heavily
to
on Roseanne as a
Roseanne.
character. So I think it's still watchable, even though she's a horrible
Right.
racist piece of shit.
Well, Rico brought up a good point, and I would see if you agree. Most people tuned into that show for Dan than they did for Roseanne. I mean, let's be real about it.
My mom
don't
watched
be
it for Roseanne.
Don't be calling us creepers. Like, you wouldn't fuck Jessica Rabbit if you were a cartoon or a human. Don't give me that shit.
I'd fuck
Oh,
Jess.
come on, dude.
You didn't fuck a sheep.
You dirty
I would
sheep
not.
fucker.
I would not fuck a sheep.
No, it just takes. It's a
If
lot.
I was a sheep, I would fuck a sheep. I'd fucking.
Betty Rubble. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah,
Rubble
we're
for
fucking
sure.
creepers. Yeah, okay. You're fucking two-timing Barney, you bitch.
Oh, Betty over Wilma any day for sure.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
Two-timing Barney. She's cucking Barney. There's a difference.
If he doesn't know, it's two-timing.
It's true.
That's fair. I'll give you that one. But yeah, like my mom watched Roseanne for Roseanne specifically.
Okay.
Because my mother was also a loud woman who, was vaguely at the edge of PG as far as like the things she would say were concerned. But she also had a big thing for like female comedians who were successful. She was a big fan of Grace Under Fire as well, to give you an idea.
Fair. Yeah.
I personally just watched it because it was on. I didn't have any appreciation for Dan at that point because like I'm fucking 10 years old. What the fuck do I know from funny? It's not at the point where it's like he's been like, shut the fuck up, Donnie. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think I can go with that because obviously when Roseanne was really popular, I was still very, very little. So when I looked at John Goodman, I'm thinking that's live action Fred Flintstone. So I basically looked at it as like, this is just modern day Flintstones in a roundabout
And
way.
they used him as the live action Fred Flintstone, didn't they?
Well, I think that's his point. I think he saw
That's
the
my
first
point.
before he saw Roseanne. So
I thought that was like so far after though, but like I thought more he was making the comparison of this guy is a live action Fred Flintstone, not this is literally a live action Fred Flintstone.
No. What I should have explained is that I only knew John Goodman as Fred Flintstone.
Oh.
And then when I saw Roseanne, because I loved the Flintstone movie when I was a kid, and
Okay.
John Goodman just looks like a 7-foot baby as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
He's always got, like, even when he grins, he just looks like, oh, you want his fucking cheeks. And then he was just a giant boy in Roseanne. And Roseanne, I mean, I appreciate Roseanne. I appreciate what Roseanne Barr, Arnold, whatever the fuck her name is, Roseanne, did for women comedians and to show a show about the working class. We have not had that. But Roseanne, the show, is an amazing achievement, period. It happens to be connected to an awful fucking person,
Correct.
just like The Cosby Show.
To me, it's just like that Bill Cosby is pervasive through the entirety of the show, whereas you can go like many episodes up until the 9th season without really having to interact with Roseanne in any meaningful way.
yeah, I could see that. Yeah.
I mean,
That's
that's
my
what
opinion.
we titled like an early episode of PodAskew. We talked about Roseanne Barr
It was
about
right
because
after she made the comments on that she made on that she claimed she was on Ambien or whatever.
yeah, Ambien side effect does not include racism.
Yeah, like
So-
it's like you're a racist. Ambien doesn't make you say racist shit. I don't give a fuck how much Ambien you take.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
So if you guys are curious how we talked about that, we call that episode "Lowering the Bar."
2 hours.
BARR.
Yeah. So good. It's an early PodAskew. I want to say it's like episode 4. It's
like
really
and
early.
it was like the first. I mean, it's a soft spot for me because it was the first time we talked about something serious because we weren't like talking about hey Star Wars and MCU and we're geeks and jerking off about geeky shit.
Wait, did Jess just say we jumped the shark in episode 4? Wow. Thanks, Jess.
I will say, you can tell that the people involved in making the Connors had absolutely no tolerance for her shit because there was very obviously the opportunity where you could have been like, well, she's in rehab for opioids.
You know who one of the producers on the original, one of the original producers on the reboot was, and she left the show after the comments, and I don't blame her. Was Wanda Sykes. Yeah,
and I don't blame her either. I absolutely don't blame her.
No, neither do I.
I just think it's very amusing that they very specifically were like, "No, we don't ever forgive you. You're dead. Fuck you."
Yeah,
they Charlie Sheened her ass, dude.
Yes, they did. Yeah, they did. Yeah.
And even funnier, like that was another show, like 2.5 Men. They brought back Charlie's character, Charlie, at the very end, but it wasn't him. It was a dude who looked like him, who like clearly had survived because it wasn't that he died; it was that he was held captive by the crazy neighbor character, Rose.
Yeah.
And then he like got free, walked to the door, rang the doorbell, and a fucking piano or some shit like lands on him. You're right, God. It was a big what?
Air conditioner.
Was it? I thought it was a piano.
Yeah, air conditioner.
Either way, they said, "Oh, we're bringing him back." Fuck you.
Yeah.
I don't know if the show got better, Kateri. I tried with fucking Ashton, and I tried. Like I was a bigger fan of the first whatever half of 2.5 Men. I gave less of a fuck about the kid. The kid became also kind of like a piece of shit.
Well, because he went like ultra religious. So
well, I'm not saying he became a piece of shit because he went ultra religious. That's not what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But he got like super douchey and was talking so much shit about the show as he was still in it. Like he was kind of pulling a Sheen, but he's not as big as Sheen. Like who the his name is? Like who the
Young is the kid. That's the actor's name.
Are you looking up the credits? Is that why you know that? Because I'm like, why the fuck do you know that?
Because I know that kid because he's in a couple movies I like, so I just happen to know that. Yeah.
What movies is he in that you like?
The Rookie with one of the Quaid brothers. I forget the skinny
Dennis.
Yeah, he's in that movie. So
if it was Randy, we called the bookie.
Yeah, right.
Wow.
Yeah, Kateri, he went the Kirk Cameron route. That's exactly what happened. Yeah, he went the Kirk Cameron route. Which is another show I grew up on, actually. Family Ties. You want to getting back to topic real quick? Family Ties was a show I grew up on.
Kirk Cameron was in Growing Pains there.
That was Growing Pains, but I also grew up on Family Ties. I still grew up on Family Ties. You're right. I had the wrong show, but yeah.
Yeah.
But I grew up on Family Ties as well. I loved Michael J. Fox on that show, and then when he went over to Spin City, but he obviously did Back to the Future in between. But
I've never seen a single episode of Family Ties.
It doesn't hold up particularly well, but it was novel at the time.
I don't think I can relate to it. I don't think I can relate to a character.
No, it's very nuclear family, very 80s nuclear family.
Even without that, it's just I don't understand. I couldn't relate to a show or a character that is just a diehard Republican. Like I don't.
Well, he was not the whole family. If I recall.
I know that, but he's part of the whole fucking ensemble. Like it just doesn't.
Yeah. It's I mean, that was during a time period where we wanted to pretend that Republicans were real people.
You also have to remember the Republican Party then is very different than the Republican Party now. You know, so I'm not saying that. No. I'm not saying that.
The religious right had not become as much of a force in the 80s. So
I didn't hear you, Mark. I'm
The
sorry.
religious right had not become as much of a thing as it is now. Like Pat Buchanan existed, but he wasn't as much of a giant douche turd fuck as he is now. So you could kind of sort of have a character be a young Republican, and it wasn't as much of an issue. It isn't as polarizing as it is now.
Yeah.
Terry, I don't think they would be able to make it like a modern day version of that with Trump, like because not for fucking nothing, they've been trying to make shows like what was that fucking Tim Allen show? Because Tim Allen loves, but he's getting a lot of controversy every single time he fucking like says something about Trump or some shit. Like,
but they spent the first 4 seasons of that show shredding Obama.
I know.
We're coming up on we're at the closing 5 minutes, guys. So we need to kind of tie off whatever we're saying here and then, wrap this thing up for the night.
The last thing I want to bring up, and I think it informs a lot about who I am as a person, show that I grew up with, Married with Children.
Oh God. Albon, Married with Children. Yeah.
I like the theme song.
Of course you do. It's Frank. Anyway. Well, Mark, thanks for hanging out with us. We always appreciate it. You know that. You always bring great knowledge and content to the show, so we very much appreciate that. I want to thank everybody for coming out tonight. A lot of the people that do generally come out are not here anymore. Well, I mean, Jay's still with us, of course. Jess and Kateri are diehards for sure. And thank you to the 3 lovely ladies for all of you for hanging out. Mark as well. Todd is gone for the moment. I don't know if he's going to try to set up his show or not. So we're going to attempt to go hang out with Todd, but I don't know if he'll be there. But please do. Kateri, I did DM you the music from tonight. If you have not seen, but check your DMs on Twitter. The list is there. I'm really looking forward to talking to Jess on Sunday, Rico. I think it's going to be a great conversation.
I'm excited. I watched the subject. I watched the movie last night. So
I bought it strictly for this. So I haven't watched it yet. I'll be watching it tonight or tomorrow, probably, depending on Todd's internet.
I'm afraid you may not like it.
I've seen it before.
Yeah, but you said you haven't seen it in a very long time. I don't know if it's going to hold up.
10 years. I mean, it's not that long.
That's fair.
So, listen, I can tell you right now, I remember the Inquisition song, and it still makes me laugh. And I've got a great story to tell about Piss Boy when we do that.
All right, well, don't ruin too much. Don't ruin too much.
Please, these people, they probably already know what we're talking about anyway.
All right. I also want to say happy Friday the 13th to all of you.
Oh shit! It is Friday the 13th. No shit.
Friday 13th in 2020. I am amazed we're all alive.
Yeah, for real.
Also, it's raining.
Yeah. Well, anyway, thank you everybody coming out. We really, really always appreciate it. It's been a lot of fucking fun. This is actually one of the funner Get Vocals I think we've done in a few weeks. So I've really, really had a good time tonight. Thank you again, Rico. Thank you to you always, buddy, for being here. And I'm glad we got your internet finally fucking figured out so that we could do this again,
God, that was a fucking... I mean, it was good a couple days ago, but like the Comcast guy came today. I've already told you this, but I'll tell the group this really quickly.
You got like 30 seconds, so... Yeah.
I know. He told me, like, oh, there's no guarantee you're going to get the full internet. Comcast doesn't guarantee anything. I said, they'll guarantee they take the fucking money into my account, don't they? And he just looked at me like...
Oh, man.